Tonight, I wanted to come on and talk about the Washington Commanders, but more so a specific player. Because one of our players, somebody that is so close to this fan base's heart, somebody that we love, I'm starting to get worried about. Because not that the fan base is starting to turn on him, but maybe the realization of who he really is, we have to accept. Let's talk about it.
The way that we live is not for everybody. We're going to run and put our bodies on people in a violent manner. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, the shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's
You know what time it is. It's time to come out.
I love the way she move it, shake it on me.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We have the Washington Commanders live stream. And in today's live stream, we got some things to talk about. Before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos and live streams like this. All right, y'all, we're going to try to roll out a new schedule starting next Monday because obviously we have a game Monday. Starting next Monday, I'm going to try to get back to the live stream game. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we're going to try to go live at around 7, 8 p.m. And we're going to try to stick to that schedule for the rest of the season. But 20 people in here, make sure y'all like. Let's get to it, all right? I don't want to waste no more time because I know some of y'all are probably going to click out. I wanted to come on here because I'm starting to get worried. And I am starting to get worried about this specific player. His name is Terry McLaurin. I know. I never thought I would be sitting up here talking about this. But through the first 2 weeks of the season, Terry McLaurin has not put up the numbers that I thought he would have been producing. I mean, year in and year out, we talk about how Terry McLaurin, with a new offensive coordinator, a new quarterback, can finally blossom into the receiver that we think he can be. But as much as this hurts me to say, I think I'm ready to accept that Terry's just not elite. Now, this isn't to say he isn't good. This isn't to say, I know, right? Not you two on. Look, I know what I'm trying to say. It sounds bad, right? It sounds bad, but it just, for me, I view Terry as Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown. Like, I was talking about him in that light. All the top receivers, I would always say Terry's in that category. And I think I'm finally having to accept that maybe he's just not that. He's still a very good receiver, and he's still a guy that is going to potentially put up 1,000 yards. But it worries me that this fan base is turning on him. And I don't know if I'm letting Twitter get to my head or whatever, but I just don't know how to feel. That's why the title of this stream is I'm starting to get worried, because a guy that we were so dearly, and not to say we don't, not to say we still don't treat Terry in a positive light, but a guy that we once were so behind as far as talking about he's the top receiver in his league, this and that. A lot of the fan base seems to be turning on him. A lot of the fan base is starting to believe that he isn't who we thought he could be. And for me, that sucks because Terry is my favorite player on the team, right? I have two of his jerseys. I have his high school jersey. I wore his high school jersey to his game. And all I wanted to do is to see Terry McLaurin blossom into AJ Brown, Devontae Adams, all these top receivers. I want to see him blossom into those guys. And it just doesn't seem like the offensive coordinator makes an assertive effort to do that. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. They just never try to go to Terry McLaurin on a consistent basis. And at what point do we say, all right, man, enough is enough, and start giving him the targets that he deserves? Alex, what's going on? He says that he'll be fine 1 or 2 games in. I hope so. But I really had to jump on to talk about that because I see Twitter going crazy. I know y'all probably like, wait, Juan, you too, and stuff like that. But I just see social media going crazy, and people are like talking about Terry in this way. And I'm just trying to get a clear understanding of, one, Is it time for me to accept that Terry isn't that? Or two, is social media tripping? I think Terry McLaurin, to me, is a number one receiver in this league. I think the issue that we have had is that Terry hasn't gotten a lot of the opportunities. We don't treat Terry McLaurin like a Cooper Kupp. We don't treat Terry McLaurin like a Devontae Adams. We don't treat Terry McLaurin like A.J. Brown. And it's not to say, because clearly he's not as talented as those guys, but if you pay a guy wide receiver one money and you pay a guy to be your wide receiver one, you're going to treat him as such, regardless of his skill set. So to me, year in and year out, offensive coordinator and quarterback year in and year out, whatever the change may be, I always say Terry McLaurin is going to have a better year than he did last year. He's going to finally have that year. And then when we get to the season, it's just like, man, where's Terry? And a lot of it to me isn't necessarily his fault. Now, I will say there was a play that Deontay Banks made last game, where it was just one play where Terry could have caught the ball, but he broke it up. And to me, Terry could have caught it, and it was a good play. But a lot of other plays, if you watch the game on all 22, Terry was getting open at times. We just continue to have the same issue year in and year out, week in and week out with these quarterbacks. They don't throw his way. They don't look his way. Now, I will say I'm not really upset because I feel like Terry McLaurin is a guy that is a team player. He's a guy that isn't caring if his numbers are 1,000, 1,500. Like, obviously, I'm sure he wants that for himself, but if it's not the case, as long as the team is successful, he'll be fine. That is the kind of guy that Terry McLaurin rubs me off to be. So, although, and he says dumbest video ever, I mean, okay, that's your opinion. You act like what am I saying that's wrong? I'm talking about what has been going around on Twitter about Terry McLaurin. People saying Terry McLaurin isn't a top receiver in the league. You act like I'm saying something crazy off the walls. If you don't like it, you can easily simply exit. What was I talking about? Terry, for me, is a guy that I feel doesn't get the opportunities that he deserves. So when it comes to him not producing, it's looked at as if it's his fault. So that's why for me, it sucks because I want to defend him. I want to say he's a top 5 receiver in the league. I want to say he's up there with the cream of the crop, but I just have to understand that Terry McLaurin may just be a Mike Evans. And it's nothing wrong with that. Look at Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a constant 1,000-yard receiver, but he's underrated. He's like a Keenan Allen. He's constantly putting up numbers, but he's never talked about like Justin Jefferson or Devontae Adams or A.J. Brown. He's never talked about in that discussion, but he's a vet that is going to be 10 years long, play 10 years in this league and constantly put up 1,000 yards. That is the company I think Terry McLaurin is in, and I think I have to finally accept that. Because y'all know how I am about Terry, man. Every year, I always try to put this high expectation on him and say that he's going to blossom to this. And I just have to accept when he's 29 years old. So he's not DK Metcalf or Deebo Samuel, where those guys are 25, 26. He's 29 years old. So he came into the league already late at a later age than you typically would like. So not to say that his career is coming down. It's just it's getting up there in age. And I personally don't know how much longer he has to play at this rate. He says, you're worried about absolutely nothing. No, it's not that I'm worried at all. It's about content, my guy. It's about talking about what is out there on the social media waves. If the biggest topic right now is talking about is Terry McLaurin at 1-1 wide receiver number 1, if he's an elite guy, is he a top guy? What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to talk about it. Because people want to hear me talk about it, whether it's one person, 2 people, 24 people, doesn't matter. People want to hear my opinion on what I have to say about Terry McLaurin. And whether you agree or disagree with me, that's up to you. but it doesn't make the video dumb or doesn't mean I'm worried about absolutely nothing. If that's your opinion, you don't have to watch. Two people started off the chat saying they didn't agree with me. Do you see them saying stuff like that? Like, you're dumb, this is the dumbest video ever? No, bro. It's your opinion. Of course, we're going to disagree, but I'm just coming on here to let you guys know part of the video, part of the live stream, I should say, is talking about this. We're not going to spend all the time talking about it, but it's just part of it. Leave your comments down below as you're going to ask questions throughout the night. Again, I'm going to try to get back on schedule with live streams and going live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays of the channel. Let me know if you guys have any questions throughout the night as we go live. Try to go for about 30 minutes to an hour. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's like part of me is willing to accept Terry just isn't what I thought he was gonna be. As far as and again, I'm not saying Terry is trash. I'm not saying he's not a 1,000-yard receiver. I'm telling you guys the spectrum I had Terry McLaurin on. I had Terry McLaurin on the same levels as these top receivers in the league. I always looked at him out to be one of those guys, and it may just not be the case. But it's not to say he isn't a wide receiver one. It isn't to say that he isn't nice, you know? So let me know what you guys think about that. Leave your comment down below. Is Terry McLaurin a top 5 receiver? Or not top 5, I'm burnt. Is he? How do you feel about the Terry McLaurin topic right now? Is he a true number 1, or do you feel like we need to add? Mike says, bro, Terry is a 1, bro. Imagine if we had real weapons around him, he'd get 12, 1,500. See, and that's the thing, Mike. That's why I always say that, right? I always say that. But my thing is, I feel like part of it is coaching too. To me, it just doesn't seem like any offensive coordinator we bring in makes an assertive effort to show these guys that Terry McLaurin is the guy. That's one. The only guy that I could truly say made Terry feel like he was the guy was Scott Turner. And y'all know how I feel about Scott Turner. I did not like his play calling, but he was the only guy that I feel like we've had that showed guys that made an assertive effort that Terry McLaurin is the guy. Or maybe it was Taylor Heineke. Honestly, maybe it was Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke's the only quarterback that I feel like Terry McLaurin had that made him show him that he's the guy. Whether it's a design play for Terry, whether it's an effort, Terry's down there somewhere. Taylor Heineke was the only guy to make Terry feel like he's the guy. Now, I will say this, just because similar to, let's see, who can I compare? I was gonna say similar to like a defensive end. Excuse me. Similar to a defensive end that doesn't get sacks or get stats, but he's constantly getting pressures, right? It doesn't show on the paper, but it shows with the team around him, and it shows with the plays that are being made. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is Terry McLaurin doesn't put up the numbers that we would like to see him put up as a number 1 receiver at times, but he still a name. He's still productive in a way of distraction, causing 2 people to have to check him, which means one-on-one coverage is across the board with everyone else. It's a lot of things Terry does well that doesn't get accounted for on a stat sheet. So I personally think Terry McLaurin, although he may not technically be a true number 1 in some people's eyes, what I'm accepting is that Terry isn't. I'm finally coming around to say Terry isn't what I thought he was as far as top 5. I'm not coming on here to say he's not elite, and I'm not coming on here to say he's not a number 1. Terry does a lot of things well that doesn't go on the stat sheet. He's a really good blocker, as we know. He's a guy that's able to create distraction. Why do you think so many other plays on Sunday, wide receivers were getting opportunities? Because Terry McLaurin was getting so much attention. He still causes attention. He just doesn't get the ball as much. And I feel like that has a lot to do with the play designs for Cliff Kingsbury. Like you saw the slant to Terry McLaurin that he caught. That should be Terry McLaurin's go-to route. If you want to find a way to just get the ball in the hands, all right, Tone. I see you when you get on, bro. If you want to get the ball in the hands of Terry McLaurin, slant should be his go-to route. I have yet to see Terry drop a slant unless it was like good coverage, like super good coverage. Terry, go-to route. If you want to get the ball in his hands, just anyway, slant. Not all the time does it have to be behind the line of scrimmage screen, those are good here and there. But I just feel like as an offensive coordinator, I would do so much more to get that ball in the hands of my playmakers. And I just feel like at times we don't do that with our guys. Um let's see. If Jaden doesn't overthrow Terry and TD last week, we aren't having this conversation. I definitely see that. I definitely understand that. I do agree with that. If Terry has that touchdown down the sideline, I feel like people wouldn't have started this notion that he isn't a true number one. That's why I'm coming on here to state my opinion, because I'm not saying Terry's not a number one. I'm just personally accepting the fact that he isn't Justin Jefferson. He isn't A.J. Brown. He isn't Devontae Adams. He isn't these other guys. What's going on, Philip B? How you doing, my man? Appreciate you for stopping by. It's not saying Terry isn't good. It says JD5 will Terry get like 4 years of great football left, and he has great football. JD5 will Terry's got like 4 years of great football left in the tank. I could see that retiring about 32, 33. That's why I say, to me, Mike Evans is a good comparison for Terry McLaurin or Keenan Allen. Like, he's underrated according to other people across the league, but he's gonna constantly give you 1,000-yard seasons. But that's all that I have on the Terry McLaurin topic. Next thing that I want to talk about is the Cincinnati Bengals game. I just want to talk a little bit about this because they did their game picks, right? They did their game picks for the week, NFL Network. And NFL Network had a full sweep on the Cincinnati Bengals beating the Washington Commanders. And all I'm going to say to that is, bet. Thank you. Because I don't know if I've ever seen a full slate be correct on games like this. Just last week, the 49ers were a full sweep versus the Vikings. Well, actually, I take that back. I think one person may have picked the Vikings. But essentially what I'm saying is, when the team is so heavily favored, I feel like it does something to the other team. It makes them want to come out and play harder. So NFL Network, thank you for doing that, because now I feel like my fellas have more bulletin board material. They already know the Bengals are coming with the back against the walls. They already know the Bengals are down to their last leg. And then you add this to the table. I think our players are going to come out there with the fight. Now, originally, prior to seeing this, I said we were going to get blown out. I did. I honestly did. And I still feel like that a little bit. But I don't see us winning this game. I'll be honest with you. And that's why Sunday's win was so important, and the Eagles losing was so a cherry on top for real, because we're playing with house money. I already didn't expect us to win this game, but even if we lose, we're one game out of first place, regardless of the outcome of Sunday's action, because of that division win that we have. And for me, I feel good. Now, I will say this: if the Bengals was coming in off of that win versus the Chiefs, I would feel like we had a better opportunity to beat them. But since they lost off of a self-inflicted wound, in my opinion, pass interference, they should have had that game. They should have had that game, bro. They really should have. And they caused the pass interference on 4th and 10 that gave the Chiefs the win. So now they're 0-2. Their backs against the wall. It's no way they go down 0-3 at home on Monday Night Football. I just don't see it. Do I want it to happen? Heck yeah. Because if we go into Cincinnati and we win, to me, that changed the narrative of our season. I no longer look at this season as a potential 6-7 win season, and this is just a revamp season. This is the first year of Dan Quinn. If we go into Cincinnati and find a way to win, and we're sitting at 2-1, I don't know. I might lose my ish, because now I'm feeling like this is a team that is ready. This is a team that is competent. This is a team that is competent and bump with anybody. Now, do I think that's going to happen? Heck no. I expect Cincinnati to blow our doors off. I do. So, what I want to say is, to the panel that picked all the Bengals to win the game, I thank you, because now our team may have some more motivation. Although I feel like we're still going to lose, we have some motivation. I want to say shout out to my man Todd Labor. He says this. Hey Juan, what's up? What's up, man? Commanders won Sunday. I don't care about the way they won. Exactly. Do you want to see a more neater win than that? Of course, you would like to see a much more better win than that. But what should be encouraging to you guys is that we won. And what also should be encouraging to you guys is that we had seven red zone trips. 7 red zone trips. I don't think we're going to go through that again. I think as the season goes along, we're going to get better in the red zone. And at some point, those field goals are going to turn into touchdowns. So it's not like in years past where we couldn't move the ball at all. We were struggling moving the ball up and down the field. We barely could get anything going offensively. We're moving the ball. Even though I don't necessarily agree with all the play calling, we're moving the ball. We're just not finishing in the red zone. And at some point, that is going to have to change. OKG says we're going to die. I feel that. I honestly do. I feel like the Bengals are going to beat us. Like, I think they're going to beat us bad. I ain't going to lie. He says, stop the cope. We would have lost if the Giants had a kicker. Yeah, we would have. I definitely don't. I don't agree. I don't disagree with that. But that doesn't take down the fact that we won. That doesn't take down the fact that we don't. This is a new week. Doesn't matter. The same way that we would have lost if the Giants had a kicker, we would have been like, oh, they would have lost if we would have turned our field goals into touchdowns. Because all of our field goals came from chip shots. So we were causing ourselves self-inflicted wounds. False start this, false start that, false start this. So I don't know. I just feel like this team is better than what I thought. But I'm not saying that to say we're going to beat the Bengals. I still think we're going to lose. Todd says it's going to be tough to win in Cincinnati, but we could pull it off. Just got to believe anything can happen. You never know. I have no faith, honestly. I have no faith. I don't have any faith that we're going to be able to pull this off on Monday. And if we do, I'm telling you this now, if we do pull it off on Monday, my whole narrative of this season changes. No one is turning on him. He just is what he is. We would have won if the Giants had a kicker and we had a cornerback. Yeah, Jonathan, you tell him. I said we would have won the same way that he could say we would have lost if the Giants had a kicker. I would have said we would have won if we would have turned our 3 points into touchdowns. And that's not a far-fetched statement, because each and every time we had the ball, we got into the red zone from about the 15-yard line. And we just kept we were so close to scoring and we just kept false starting. Bengals have the weakest run D, so if we run the ball, run B-Rob and clock control, we have a chance to keep it close. Definitely understand that, and I definitely saw that their run D has been weak to start the season. So I feel like kind of the key to this game, and this may sound a little bit crazy because arguably we have more talent on this team, especially with the quarterback position. But if we want to win Monday night, we're gonna have to essentially do what we did on Monday night, ironic enough, a couple of years ago versus the Eagles, where we ended their undefeated streak. They were so much better than us, but we made key plays at the right time to help us get that victory. We kept the ball on the ground. We kept the clock turning. We kept the Eagles off the field. So I felt like although we have much more talent, that's what we're going to have to do if we want to beat the Bengals. You know? Just close. Not we can win, but we might not get blown out. And honestly, Steven, that's all I want to see. I'm not expecting us to win. I'm expecting a blowout. So all I want to see is us keep it close, to be honest with you. That's all I want to see. Is a close victory or a close game. As long as we don't look like we don't know what we're doing, I feel like we'll be good. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I really have to say on that. If you guys have any questions, leave it down below, and we'll discuss it. Require very few mistakes, penalties in the red zone. Like, oh, yeah. Saying T was a 2 frame from the jump. You were saying T was a 2 from the jump. Says Peep's been watching a bad team for so long. The decent players on the team seem great, but they just aren't. That's a respectable take. I get you. I understand that. That's nothing wrong with that take at all. Essentially, what he's saying is not that Terry McLaurin isn't good, but we're so used to watching our best players be like Terry McLaurin that we think that's how the rest of the league is. But it's like, no, the rest of the league is Justin Jefferson's, Amon-Ra St. Brown's, you know, Devontae Adams, and all the other great receivers. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand that take. Tyus says, Juan, I feel like JD could succeed better this week. He stays in the pocket, reads, and makes the right throw. I feel we do lose to Cincinnati 35-21. But hey, it's football. Hopefully we win more than 4 this time. Yes, sir. Shout out to my man Tyus. Met him at the game. Shout out to my guy. I see what you're saying. And that's why I made the video today. If you guys haven't checked out my video today, go check it out. I said this video, on the video, I said that play that JD5 got hurt on was the turning point of his career, in my opinion. Because JD5 taking that hit turned him into a pocket passer, if you ask me. Because after that play, after the play that he got his wind blown out, he turned into a dotter. You know? So I definitely see that point. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Totally agree. He responded the right way. Glad they gave him a little love tap. He needed it. Exactly. Now, watching it in person, it was bad because we in the stands, oh man, we saw him down on that field. We could hear a pin drop in that stadium, man. You can hear a pin drop. Juan, I was at the game last week and I was sitting on the Giants side and they was mad. Nah, for real. I bet they was. I was coming out the stadium and I heard a guy was like, man, F Washington, man, y'all had one job, and that was to break Daniel Jones's leg. I said, what? Whoa. Crazy talk. When JD got hurt, I was like, not again. Nah, for real, man. When he got hurt, I was like, man, hopefully it's just a cramp. Hey, Stash, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate you so much, my guy. He says, Juan, love the channel. I'm worried about Allen. What's going on with that? We could talk about that. Thank you for bringing up that topic. And again, guys, if you have any comments, like topics like that, you can leave them down below in the comment section, or you can hit up the super chat if you would like. But you can give me topics down below. What's going on with Jonathan Allen? I feel like this has been a topic for years now with Jonathan Allen. I feel like Jonathan Allen hasn't been the same for a while now. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because he's getting older. I don't know if it's because offensive linemen are starting to figure him out. I don't know if it's because, again, similar to what my man Herman said earlier, we're so used to seeing guys like that are decent that when we feel like that's how the rest of the league is. However, the rest of the league has Chris Jones, or not the rest of the league, but other teams have Chris Joneses, Dexter Lawrence's, Jeffrey Simmons, and all these disruptive interior presence. And we feel as though because they were so talked highly of, that we feel like that they're the best. And maybe that's just not what it is anymore. Maybe a couple years ago, Jonathan Allen was the best, but not anymore. And if there's one of these two guys that I would like to see gone, it is Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen voiced his frustration last season. I remember it was a talk about him. But we thought he wanted to ask for a trade, but he's still here. Jonathan Allen, to me, is a guy that yaps pregame. He gives the best pregame speeches and then goes out there and does anything. Do I want to see that change? Yes. This past week, I will give him the benefit of the doubt, though. I will. They were getting double-teamed a lot. And I'm not trying to make excuses for them. They were getting double-teamed almost every single play. The guy that I feel like is the X factor, and I feel like is a guy that creates pressure, is Deron Payne. Jonathan Allen was never looked at as the guy to create interior pressure. He was always a run stuffer. So, maybe he's just reached his peak. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he just reached his peak. DC Baby says, "Hey, bro, I seen your vid the other day about discontinuing live streams on the games because your page wasn't flourishing like other channels. All I gotta say is keep your head up, bro. Love your channel." Hey, I appreciate that, DC. Appreciate that big time, my man. Shout out to you, Brody. Yeah, Mo, like, honestly, I used to do the streams and, they were doing well. And along the years, as it typically is with life, other people came into the community and took it by storm. And hats off to them. Shout out to them for doing that. Don't have no problem with it. Don't have no hate in my body. Love seeing everyone flourish. But for me, it was just like people have tapped out of my live streams to go watch others, which is fine. So for me, it was like, is there really any purpose to still do it, even though people aren't tuning in anymore? So that's why I really just made that video right there. But appreciate that, my guy. Shout out to you, Brody. Tyus says, or not to his full. I feel like he's playing bad on purpose, or not to his full potential. Playing bad on purpose is the worst way to get out. True. Jonathan Allen, he doesn't strike me as that kind of guy, though, because although he has been playing bad or whatever, he doesn't strike me as a guy that just wants to play bad so he can get out. I don't see that. I don't. For me, he's too passionate about this game, and he wants to win too bad to be just playing bad. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Juan, shout out to you, Andrew. Says, you think we're going to beat the Bengals on Monday? No, I do not think we're going to beat the Bengals on Monday. Unfortunately, I do not feel like that is going to happen. Pierre's a better route runner than Terry. 1 second, guys. I'm going to get some water. Give me a second. I'm going to run the intro right quick. Just as a little commercial break.
The way that we live is not for everybody. We're going to run and put our bodies on people in a violent manner.
I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, and shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's
You know what time it is. It's time to come out.
I love the way she move it, shake it on me.
That was perfect timing, because I just got the water. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna beat the Bengals on Sunday. But he says invest into your channel. Get a stream deck, invest money back into the channel, change up the background. Your content is just good, if not better. If not better, give us a different kind of view. Hang up jersey. Exactly. Yeah, I feel you. That's the crazy thing about my channel, right? Is and not to go on a tangent, guys, because I know we're talking about the team here. We can leave. What's I going to say? I just got a sidetrack. My man LKG says change that. The reason why I don't want to change the tune, because this is where we from. We from the DMV. I'm born and raised here. Born in DC, raised in PG County. We listen to go-go music. I feel like that's the theme of our area. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't want to change the tone. It's go-go music. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the only people that don't like it is the people that's not from DC or the surrounding areas. You know what I'm saying? But the crazy thing about my channel is I used to do all those things, right? Green screen and stuff like that. But I've always feel like people like my rawness in a sense, like, you know what I'm saying, seeing the background, stuff like that, just seeing me come on and spit real raw and uncut sports talk. But I will think about investing into the background. I will do that. I got a supporting system that always try to get down my back, because a lot of people tell me all the time I could be bigger than what I am. You know what I'm saying? I just get in my own way with this as far as stuff like background stuff like that. So yeah, I just gotta invest into it. Say go music, play it out. I feel you, but what the intro gonna be? I can't play what I really listen to. I listen to go music, but I'm not about to turn on that free car music as my intro, because then people gonna complain about that. You can't please everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be a couple people that don't like anything you do. So I just try to keep it what I like. I like go music, and I feel like a lot of other people like go music. So that's why it's my intro, and it's one of my favorite songs. It's a classic. Since the go is how I feel, the go is how I knew you was valid. I appreciate that, bro. But yeah, though, appreciate you, DC baby, for the tips. I will definitely try to get better background. It's like my angle right now that my room used to look a way different. My recording room used to be way different before I left. Right now, it's kind of in this corner, so I don't really have that much room. But I'll try to maybe get something up on here, something like that. Something pretty cool. I'll definitely look into it. Tell them Bammers don't listen to the show, man. LOL, the go slam. Nah, it's all good though. I ain't really hating if people don't like it. Everybody has their different tastes. It doesn't matter. Like, some people don't like the intro, totally fine. They could probably just skip past it or turn their volume down until you get past the intro. But I feel like more people like it than more people don't like it. So I'm gonna please the crowd that more likes it than doesn't. You feel me? Dirty says, I've been watching you since we had Haskins for real. That's when you had your song as the intro. Yeah, I had a couple songs as my intro, man. That's crazy. Watching me since God may rest his soul, Haskins. That's tough. Don says, who want to Chase Young jersey for sale? I don't think nobody want to Chase Young jersey for sale, Don. I think you might want to go ahead and hang that up. That's what I do, Brody. I got a Chase Young jersey too, bro. You're not alone. I'm just gonna hang that Joan up. I'm gonna hang that Joan up, and it's just gonna collect dust in the closet, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what you might gotta go ahead and do. I like the tune, but it just doesn't match football stuff. I feel you, but that's where I feel like the kind of disconnect is. Yes, my channel is about football, but I'm also my own brand. So however big I get with sports talk or whatever I do in my life, I'm always going to show people that I'm from the DMV. I'm from PG County, born in Washington, D.C. I'm going to always have that culture with me, however big I get. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, my channel is about sports, but the personal brand of it, Juan Gotti Talking Sports, which is me. Go Music is me because I listen to it. And it also just happens that Washington is my favorite team. You know what I'm saying? And that's a DC team, DMV team. So it's just the culture, Brody. You know what I'm saying? If I was a Jets fan, I would see if like people would understand, like be like, oh, what is this? You know what I'm saying? It is trash. But I would just tell them it's my personal brand, it's my song. But it just makes too much perfect sense to me, OKG. I am a Washington fan. My channel's about Washington, DC, DMV is a cultural area for go music. It just makes too much sense for me. But I understand what you're saying, though. For sure, I do. Says welcome to DC would be a good intro, I think. See, I can't use some songs because some songs are copyright. So that's why I can't use all the best songs. But yeah, back to football talk, guys. Sorry about that. Let's see. I forgot somebody said let's talk about the offensive line. I see potential. Yeah, so offensive line. The only thing that I have an issue with the offensive line goes is probably Brandon Coleman at this point. Honestly, surprising me, and maybe I gotta do a deep dive. Maybe I gotta go do a really good deep dive. But has Andrew Wiley been surprisingly good so far this season? I don't know if I just haven't been paying attention to him that much. Outside of the was it him that caused the strip sack on JD5 to start the game? I mean, first game. I don't know, but I feel like Andrew Wiley hasn't been so bad this season. I don't know. The interior has been pretty solid. The pressures has just really been coming from the tackle position. He said, "Do you think Janky Wando gonna cost us the game about what he said about Jamal?" Hey man, my man Janky Rondo Slim. He said what he said, right? He said we gonna hold Jamal Chase under 25 yards. I think my man Janky Rondo definitely put a death note on us by saying that. Because Jamal Chase is about to dog us, and the Bengals are about to dog us. So hey, I don't want to solely put that loss on Janky Rondo, but he started it, if you ask me, talking trash to Jamar Chase. But shout out to Janky, though. If the Commanders can just reduce penalties and keep building on the positives, we'll work. Golly, I can't read. With working on our weaknesses, I'll be happy win or lose. And for me, for real, that's how I feel this season. I want to be competitive in games, regardless of whether we win or lose. I'm going to be heated in the moment if we lose. But after a day, I'm going to be fine because I understand what the season is. You know, I understand what this season is. So I get that it may not be winning all the time, but I just want to see competitiveness all the time. That's all I want. Are you on TikTok? My TikTok is juangottibusiness. If you guys have any more topics, make sure you guys leave it up in the comment section. Don't forget to like this stream, subscribe. I'm going to try to get back heavy on the streams Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. So yeah, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. And we're gonna be over here popping it. Shout out to my man Tone. Tone, what's up?
What's up, bro? My fault, bro.
Nah, you good, man.
I double booked myself. Now I get ready for work, but yeah, I had to call out my man Juan real quick.
Nah, you good, bro. I understand. We just for the last 15 minutes, we just chopping it up, answering the comments, man.
Cool.
I mean, I guess since you're here now, I can ask you about. I started it off talking about Terry. You've been hearing all this stuff about Terry McLaurin, this Terry McLaurin, that. Your honest opinion on it. For me, I still think Terry's elite. I still think he's a wide receiver one. I just have to now accept that he's not what I had. I had Terry on this high pedestal with the Justin Jeffersons, AJ Browns, Devontae. Yeah, like I had him on that kind of level, and I finally am accepting that he's probably just that tier below. He's probably just Keenan Allen, Mike Evans. I don't know. You may feel differently, but you have some people out there that think he's just straight up not a wide receiver one at all. Your overall thoughts on the Terry McLaurin thing that's been going around?
I think he's a top 15 to 17 receiver in the league. Middle of the pack wide receiver one. He's not no wide receiver two. Can y'all stop that foolishness? That sounds stupid. But he's not Justin Jefferson. He's not AJ Brown. He's not. I don't think he's Amon-Ra St. Brown. I just don't think he's that. He's that tier 3 number one wide receivers like from Chris Godwin to the world. That if he was a wide receiver one, he'd be Brown there. Mike Evans, stuff like that. He's like in that tier of wide receivers that can give you anything between 60 to 125 yards a week, maybe 130, 140 if you actually went the heck off. And that's just who he is. I think he's a solid wide receiver one, top 15 wide receiver in the league. And I think Nico might be surpassing him if Nico keep doing what he's doing, but he's not no SD. It's just tough. He's not getting a ball enough, so it's really hard to really put him anything beyond 15. Like it's hard.
You think Nico Collins is better than him?
I only better than him today, no, but If Nico puts up another 1,200-yard season, it's hard to say no. It's gonna be hard to say no. If Terry don't crack a rack, Terry gotta get a rack, and if Terry don't crack a rack, and this dude gets 1,200 yards, right now today I probably will take DJ Moore. I hate saying that, but that's just he needs to get the ball more. It's hard to say. I don't know. It's just hard to say.
So for me, this is my thing, and this is just a question. This is not really. I'm not gonna say this is how I feel, but it's just a question. We've been through quarterback. We've been through 3 offensive coordinators, and it's still the same thing. At what point do we point the finger at Terry?
I think it's time to start pointing the finger at Terry McLaurin. I think it's time. I don't. He's way better than Nelson Aguilar. Stop what y'all doing.
That's crazy. Comparing him to Nelson Aguilar is crazy.
Nelson Aguilar is a walk and drop. Stop what you're doing over there. But it's time to start pointing it's just 3 head coaches now? Jay, Ron, now DQ. 5 coordinators, if you want to count Callahan and Kevin O'Connell his first year. So you had KOC, Brian Callahan, Scott Turner, Eric Bieniemy, and now Cliff Kingsbury. And it seemed like ever since KOC and early Scott Turner, we haven't seen Terry get the ball out since 2022. It's been very quiet for him. Mm-hmm. So I would want to say it's starting to kind of get put to Terry's way, honestly speaking. But I think the combination of both, though, because Cliff don't know what Terry does well yet. And Terry kind of needs to excel in this offense. He's not a DeAndre Hopkins. He doesn't have that type of skill set that D-Hop had when he was with the Cardinals. I don't think he has that type of skill set where he can go up and get it, but he ain't 6'4" like a DeAndre Hopkins. So you just throw a back shoulder fade to him and go get it. Like that's not his game. He's a better route runner than a DeAndre Hopkins. He's more technically sound than DeAndre Hopkins. So you can't just say, "Oh, run 100 back shoulder fades. He'll catch 100 passes for 1,400 yards and 5-6 touchdowns," because that's just not his game. So Cliff has to find a way, the best way to get Terry the ball, and Terry has to execute when it's time for him. When it's time. If he screens, then you cut that out. The wide receivers don't block well enough, so they need to cut down the playbook to Terry and figure out other ways to get the ball.
Why can't we keep spamming slants? That's his go-to route.
He's a slant goat. I throw him 8 slants until they stop it.
Yeah.
Until they bracket him and make Jaden throw the pick or something, then I'll switch it up. But I don't see enough skinny posts. I don't see enough comebacks. I don't see shallow crosses. That's another route I think he's good on, is that 5-yard across the field and create a natural pick for him to get him open and let him get yards to catch. We seen it in the Giants game in 2022. We saw that in the Cowboys game in 2022. We saw that in the Packers game in 2022. Like, he had like 3 touchdown catches just off that route alone. But we don't run it. I don't understand. You see what he does well in previous offensive systems and don't implement it to your own. Just makes 0 sense to me with Cliff.
Do you feel like
Cliff's still a great offensive mind, though? I think he needs to implement those.
It's my man Protect Sports, Tony. Make sure you guys subscribe to PSN Command Network. Link is in the comment section. Great Commanders channel. Check them out if you haven't already. Do you feel like Cliff is handicapping Jaden Daniels? Do you think Cliff is scared to rip the Band-Aid off of Jaden Daniels?
Somewhat. I think he's a little cautious. Also seen him let Jaden sling it, and Jaden made the plays that he needed to make. That play to Noah Brown. We don't make that play, we don't win the ball game. He dialed up a bomb to Terry that he missed. So he's not really like handcuffing him completely, but I don't think he's letting him completely loose yet because he wants to stay balanced offensively, which I do understand. Like, and you're running the ball well, so what's the need of throwing the ball a ton if you're running for 215 yards? You don't need to. So maybe a game when he really needs to sling it, we might see it. But if we stay balanced offensively like this, I don't think we need it. So yeah, I think it's more of the run game getting going too. And I think it's also hurting Terry and Terry's numbers too, because we're running the ball so well. Like, we had 200 yards rushing Brian Ross had 133 rushing yards off 17 carries. Imagine if Brian Ross had 25 carries. He probably gets 170, 180 yards rushing on Sunday. So running like that, how you gonna really get Terry involved? You're running the ball like that. So that's how I'm kind of gonna bring that up too.
Yeah. What's up? What's up? What's up? Sally, my man,
What's up,
Sally.
big dog?
What's up, Skins fan? Oh, they my man Dominique Sally, man. He's going through it, man. He's a Panthers fan. He's
Oh
a
my God.
realist. He's a
Jesus
realist Panthers fan.
Christ.
I don't think he wanted. I feel like last time we
What they
talked,
do?
I don't think he wanted Bryce Young. Back during that
I
draft, I
don't think
think.
no one should have wanted Bryce Young. They should have wanted CJ.
No, let me say. Oh yeah, let me say this while we're on the Panthers topic. Why I had my man Dominique Sally in here, Panthers fan. Can we dead this notion that the Panthers should have drafted CJ Stroud? If CJ Stroud was in Bryce's Young shoes, it would be the same exact result. That is how I feel. It's the situation. I understand Bryce Young. I get Bryce Young is small and he doesn't have the body size of a quarterback in the NFL. I get all of that. But the Panthers ruined him. How is it that Baker Mayfield goes there, it fails, goes to Tampa, revives his career? Another quarterback, I can't think of a name, a veteran quarterback went there, failed, revived his career. The Panthers are just a franchise that are similar to us. We ruin franchise quarterbacks. And I'm not saying Bryce Young is all this good. But what I'm saying is you can't say that it would have been different if CJ Stroud was a quarterback. I feel like it wouldn't, because the situation around him isn't good. CJ Stroud is talented. Yes, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But you can't say the situation in Houston didn't help prevail that also, along with his talents.
I don't think the Houston roster was that great last year, if I want to be honest with you. Like, Motor Singletary is cool. Nico Collins, he unlocked Nico Collins. That's called Nico Collins didn't have a 500-yard season before CJ got there. So we got to call it a spade on that too. He actually elevated the players around him. So I think it would have been slightly different because he elevated the guys around him. We knew about Tank Dell, but did the league know about Tank Dell? No. Dalton Schultz is a dog, so I'll give you that one. But outside Laramie Tunsil and Dalton Schultz, they had no really known names on their team. There's a bunch of guys that had some talent, but they had no really known names in the league yet. Like, no one knew who the heck Nico Collins was until he did what he did. So I would say CJ was a much better time coming out of school anyway. So I think it would have been different. It would have been much different. Probably not, but I think it would have been different though. Especially year one, because I think he would have elevated Adam Thielen. I think Jonathan Mingo would look better with a CJ Stroud. He just a more talented player, and he has the it factor. I don't think Bryce Young has it.
Why is that? Because he had it at Alabama.
Hey, honestly, Jamarcus Russell had it too in LSU.
So
Jay Locker had it in UW. These dudes might have it in college. He might not be an NFL quarterback, and Bryce Young might just not be an NFL quarterback. He's might not be. When you have it, when you have it, I don't care what the situation is. You might not necessarily thrive, but you show flashes. I ain't seen a single flash from Bryce Young where I say, dang, they have a franchise quarterback in this kid. I've not seen one flash. Like a throw like that hardly anyone could make. I haven't seen that from Bryce. Everything's been routine and average stuff at best. I haven't seen any flash that I can say, oh, okay, if he keep that up, he could be him. Like, he could be it. I ain't seen it from him yet. I haven't seen it. But like CJ Stroud, I know the situation was better in Houston. I can't lie, it was. You draft Will Anderson, this junior, and you already have Laramie Tunsil, and you have a better coaching staff, thinking Mize, and you draft well with Jalen Petrie and Derek Stingley. I get it. It's a more talented roster. But was it supremely talented? No. CJ elevated them boys. And Bryce just wasn't able to elevate the guys around him. And the coach staff does suck too. So, I mean, I think Dave Canales could get something out of him, but too short of a leash. 2 games ain't enough to really find what you got.
I will say this: I'm taking Carolina this weekend. I'm
Versus
picking
who?
the Raiders.
Oh, you do play the Raiders.
I'm taking Carolina this weekend. I will say that. I do think, and with Andy Dalton coming in, they're going to be a better team because it's a situation where a veteran guy like Andy Dalton knows how to handle a toxic turmoil situation like Carolina.
Yeah.
I just don't think I don't think Bryce Young is a I'll say this, I don't think Bryce Young is a guy that you could put he's Brock Purdy to me. He's a worse Brock Purdy. In a sense that I feel like he's a system guy if you want him to be successful.
Yeah, that's why I don't think franchise quarterback.
I think Brock Purdy thrives off success because of the system he's in. And that's not to say that he isn't any good. That's just to say that he can't put a team on his back. Who's to say we get the same CJ Stroud out of CJ Stroud if he was in Carolina?
Maybe.
You know? So I love CJ Stroud. I think he's really good. But I just don't like that people try to make it seem like it's Bryce Young's fault for being picked number 1. You know what I'm saying?
His fault. It wasn't his fault. Hell no. I won't say that.
I think he's a guy that just I don't want to say they gave up on him too fast, but like he is just in a horrible situation. He's not in a situation where he can thrive, in my opinion. You know, but that's not to defend that he is just.
Also, some people might just be trash. And I don't think Bryce Young is trash. I just think he's just a middle road guy at best, and that's just who he is. And you might get that potential at another team like a Miami or something they traded for him or something like that. But
He says he has weapons. Imagine if we had him Thielen, Xavier Legette, Sanders with Terry and B-Rob.
Adam Thielen seen better days. Stop it. Adam Thielen is digging to the fountain of youth. It's cool. And Xavier Legette is cool, but I don't think it's much better what we have in Washington.
They put $100 million into the O-line.
They pick up Robert Hunt from the Dolphins. That was another huge loss. The Dolphins had this all season.
So everyone feels as though if CJ Stroud was in Carolina right now, Carolina would be better. In the sense of how much better.
Slightly better.
Houston blossomed better, or
they could have won. They could have 7-10 last year with CJ. So slightly better, but not like OD. Like, oh my gosh, they're gonna make the playoffs. I've been they've been a 7-win team, but with CJ last year.
You see Justin Fields whole new scenery. Look at him. I haven't really checked them out because they haven't been scoring enough. He's probably just not turning over the ball.
He won't have that job long if they don't start scoring points.
What's up, Crud Knuckles? How you doing? But yeah, man, make sure you guys check out ProTech Sports, man. Great Washington Commanders YouTube channel. Shout out to my man Dominique Sally, Carolina Panthers fan. I know it's a tough year, and it's just starting. Hey, you might have to go. Well, I don't know if you want to go to the game when they come down here or whatever, but I was gonna say maybe you got to see your boys in person. We play y'all this year in Landover, Daryl Green's retirement game, but that might be ugly. Do you see you guys winning the game this year? How many games do you think Carolina wins this year? All right, just answer like Just answer it like this. Just answer it like this. Will they be picking first in the draft? And they're picking quarterback.
Yes.
Who? Quinn Ewers? Shedeur Sanders? Carson Beck?
I think I'm going Shedeur. Shedeur Sanders. It's Shedeur or Carson Beck is one of them two, I think. Quinn Ewers, he just got hurt too, so that might hurt his draft stock a little bit depending on how long he's out. So I think I'll go with Shedeur or Carson Beck. It feels me. But Carson Beck ain't putting up good tape out here in week 2 of the college football season either. They showed to be Kentucky, so.
Says y'all look good though. We look alright. we looking better. I see the progression. We look
Yeah,
but what I was gonna say.
he look
Speaking of
cool.
Caleb Williams, Jalen Dad said, "I'm so glad we didn't try to trade up for Caleb Williams." Me too. Because did you not see CJ Stroud trying to give Caleb Williams advice, and he kind of was just like, all right, I hear you. And he was trying to walk away.
Yeah, I peeped that.
How do you feel about that? Do you feel like the internet is digging too much into that, or do you feel like that's how Caleb Williams was carrying the situation? Like, I got it. I know. I got it. I hate it.
I feel a little bit of both. I do think that he carried it a little disrespectfully, but also it could be a little bit of hyperbole from the media. The media always be hyping some things up, but I do think he could have handled that a little better. So let me take some advice from a dude that has done it already. He just did it last year. He threw 4,000 yards and had the best touchdown interception ratio in football last year. I should probably talk to this guy and see what the heck he did and implement in my own game. But sometimes people need to learn the hard way. And Caleb might need to learn the hard way. We'll see. But he should take some advice from CJ, man. I don't know why. I don't know why he just kind of shrugged it off like he know it all. Stupid.
Yeah. Shit, I wish CJ Stroud could give my quarterback some advice. I know he would take it.
Oh, heck yeah. Because Jay ain't no fool. Jay wasn't born yesterday.
So you think you trade back and get a pass rusher? So you think y'all gonna keep Bryce Young?
I think that would be so stupid. I'll move Bryce and I'll drop the quarterback.
Shedeur Sanders ain't taking a media with the Panthers. I see Shedeur going to New York. I see.
That's cool. And he'll be dumb not to do so. I think if Shedeur went to Carolina, there'd be no expectations right away. He can actually just play football. You go to New York, there's no expectations right away. You got Malik Neighbors already there. They got Motor Singletary. They keep trying to improve their offensive line every year. They can't just really fix it. I don't know why, but they just can't fix it. Yeah.
Who wants Bryce Young? I don't think no one wants Bryce Young at this point.
Right now, not right now, but never know.
Shout out to my man Crud Knuckles. He says, "Gotta toss the pigskin sometimes." Thank you for the super chat, my guy. And I definitely think we need to toss the pigskin down the field. Me and Tone was both at the games. And I don't know how you feel about Cliff Kingsbury's offense, but for me, early on, before Jaden Daniels took that hit, it just for me seems so basic.
Yeah. It looked too simple, but once he took that hit, Cliff started turning up a little bit, so I was kind of fine after that.
When he got injured, what was your reaction? And let the people know how the crowd took it.
The crowd was sick, and I was sick too. I said, "Oh, this ninja got hurt. Uh-oh. All right. The sky's falling, y'all." I thought to myself, the sky's falling, y'all. We about to go crazy. In a bad way. When that song got up, I was like, oh, he's cool. But when he first went down, I said, oh, man, here we go, bro. Not 2012 all over again, bro. No. Even like they started evaluating him. They started touching his chest. I'm like, he's not the win now. I thought he good. When he first went down, I was like, uh-oh. No RG3 part 2, bro. I don't need that, bro. I was kind of scared. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't see Shedeur coming to Carolina. He might pull an Eli. He gives me that kind of vibe. I ain't gonna lie. Especially with his dad in his ear. He give me that kind of vibe. I ain't gonna lie to you. He definitely gives me that kind of vibe. I was there, couldn't I hear nobody? Yeah, so everybody was at the game. Big Simple was there, you were there, Corey was there.
Everybody in Mo was all right there. I ain't gonna lie.
I would not mind taking Bryce Young as a QB2 over Marcus Mariota. Nah, I like Jeff Driscoll, man. I hope Jeff Driscoll remains QB2, even when Marcus Mariota is healthy.
You gotta think that's a number one overall pick. The Panthers not gonna just give him away. So
yeah,
I'm good on that. I don't want to give him that pick.
Do you think they go back to him at any point this season to say just finish out the season, or to say we're gonna move forward with you in the future? Or do you think he's
I'm
done?
gonna give him another chance to see what he got, and then we're gonna reevaluate at the end of the season. I mean, right now they're just trying to get the offense going and kind of get some in a positive direction. So they had to play Andy for right now, just to get things in a positive direction. Probably middle of the season. So all right, look, we can go at the Bryce, and Bryce might need a different perspective on the game. Watching Andy might get him to be able to understand what mistakes he's making, what he's not seeing, what he needs to see, and what he needs to do better. So I think that might be good for Bryce to sit down and kind of get a new perspective of the game before he go back out there again. So that's my thoughts. I think they're going to play Andy for a couple weeks, maybe a month, let Bryce see the game differently. By the time we probably play him, he might be playing again. And then maybe if he plays better, they'll give him another year. If he doesn't, they're going to take a Shedeur Sanders or take a Carson Beck and call it a day.
Okay. So any last questions that you have for us before we get out of here, man? Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications. Subscribe to my man Tone, Protect Sports Network. PSN Command Network is down below in the description. Make sure you guys subscribe to my guy. And yeah, man, big game on Monday. I'll be back one more time. Again, I'm going to try to get consistent with these lives Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So I'll be back Friday night for one final preview before the Bengals game. And thank you guys for watching. Says last game, no pass attempts, went past 15 yards. He seemed afraid to throw the ball at times.
Yeah, that's probably why Bryce needs to sit down. He needs to sit and see the game differently.
I got Carolina sitting QB race out to wait for Arch Manning. Nah, you can't do that. Because you can't guarantee yourself to get another number one pick.
Yeah, that's hard. It's gonna be hard to get the number one pick in the draft 3 straight seasons. And you didn't have it last year because you lost it to Chicago. If you have it this year, it's the second straight year. You gotta take a quarterback. You can't do that. You need to find your guy. And if Wolf Arch struggles in 2025 as a starter, or the end of 2024, right, and goes in 2025, not the guy that you think he is. So yeah, and he can't be eligible for the draft this year anyway. So you can't wait for Arch Manning. You need to draft your Quinn Ewers or your Carson Beck or your Shedeur Sanders and call it a day.
I hope they don't start Forbes. T. Higgins most likely is playing. That scares me. I don't think Forbes is playing though. He said 4 to 6 weeks.
Forbes is out for 4 to 6 weeks. He's probably got put on IR already.
Panthers need to build the team, then get their quarterback.
Ron tried that. No. They did the right way the first time, and they drafted Cam, and they built around Cam. Stop that. You're not.
I don't think that's worked since Josh Allen.
Yeah, the Bills did it right. They did it that way and it worked, but they were very fortunate with Josh Allen. Very fortunate. They were actually able to develop him. So,
yeah, I'm gonna get my quarterback first kind of guy.
I'm gonna get my QB first. You could build a team in that same draft. You can go get your left tackle in the second round, or go get whatever positions you think you're missing later on in the draft. You don't have to just get your quarterback and that's it. You're around in that draft.
Make sure y'all put in y'all parlay. JD5 gets his first passing touchdown. I do that. But
I think he gets first pass touchdown this week. I hope so.
But I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I know my man Tone got a bounce. So make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the Washington Commanders. I'll be back on live Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. So Friday coming up, we'll be back here previewing the game one last time. Make sure you subscribe to PSN Commanders Network. Link down below in the description. As always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, and subscribe. Those Washington Commanders. I'm out. Peace.
Never gave a fuck. Ballin' like I'm Deshaun, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a line.